Thank you, Nina Enrique. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alma Angeles for Net25 World News. On tonight's headlines. Billions of Iglesia Ni Cristo members filled the Quirino Grandstand in Manila today, standing together for the National Rally for Peace. From Cavite to Nueva Ecija, all 13 sites simultaneously arrived in waves, some as early as 4 a.m., traveling by buses and private vehicles, determined to make their voices heard.
Tingin ko po ang pinakabigat na problema na hinaharap po ng ating bansa ay kulang po sa edukasyon.
Kahirapan, korupsyon, walang kapayapaan, mga kaguluhan po.
Kami nga po ang mga magsasaka, halos wala po kaming makain.
And the news starts now. Billions of Iglesia Ni Cristo members filled the Quirino Grandstand in Manila today, standing together for the National Rally for Peace. From Cavite to Nueva Ecija, all 13 sites simultaneously arrived in waves, some as early as 4 a.m., traveling by buses and private vehicles, determined to make their voices heard.
Pagkakaisa na ito sa layunin na magbago at malutas ang mga problema sa Pilipinas.
The atmosphere was calm yet powerful, with the crowd swelling as INC members began their programs.
Una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat ako sa Iglesia kasi nakita nila yung mga problema. Nakita ko rin din kung anong problema sa bansa natin. Bakit nagpunta ako dito, maaga pa, para magkaisa din sa pagbabago ng Pilipinas. Doon pa lang sa bridge, parang nasyak ako, dami pala. Dito, sumali ako kasi nakita ko yung vision nga dapat tayo magkaisa. Ano man ang religion mo, wala yan. Importante magkaisa tayo. Puro man tayo Pilipino. Ang importante, tulungan natin ang bansa natin nga magkaisa tayo. Dapat unta, i-stop na ning kaning away-away. Ang wish ko sana, mawala na yung corruption. Unahin yung mga problema sa every city. Yung mga bilihin, masyado na mahal. Dapat mabalik na. Gusto natin kapayapaan, walang gulo. Wake up man ito. No? Kung ang ibang iglesia na walang paki, ito na iglesia na ito may paki. Para makinabang sa lahat. Hindi man ito sa iglesia lang. Buong bansa. Ipagpatuloy yung magagandang layunin para sa kabutihan ng bansa. No? Hindi lamang pag-serve kay Lord, pati din sa komunidad. Appreciate ko talaga. Salamat sa Iglesia ni Cristo.
Police maintained order while security teams and K9 units ensured safety.
Relatively peaceful at wala pa po tayong naitatala na anumang insidente. May mga ongoing programs po sila. Nag-start po around 8 to 8:30 po. Same with the other rally sites sa Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And we don't expect any untoward incident. But
we are having no problem. Kasi nga, kagaya ng sinabi ko, pati sa road blockade, sa parking, sa flow ng tao is may kasama po tayong scan. Sila po lahat yung nag-guardia na at saka yung MMDA, nag-maximum deployment po sila. Especially sa umikot po ako kanina sa chopper ng Coast Guard is nakita natin na yung pati yung pagparada po ng mga bus at saka van natin is talagang orderly po. Ibang klase raw kasi organized po. Masyado pong organized yung nangyayari ngayon. May isang damit, yung ibang mga kapatid natin sa iglesia ay may daladalang mga trash bag na immediately pag may nakita silang basura is pinupulot na po nila. At saka yung PNP hindi po nahihirapan sa pagpapanatili ng orderliness because within the ranks of the Iglesia ni Cristo ay may mga marshals po. Yun po yung sa mga katauhan po ng mga scan po natin at talagang organized po yung pagkakakamada po.
Now, this rally was more than just a gathering. It was a powerful statement. INC members came to support President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s stand against the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte, who denies allegations of public fund misuse. The Iglesia Ni Cristo earlier emphasized the need for national unity, echoing the call for leaders to prioritize the country's welfare over political conflicts. The movement stretched far beyond Manila, with millions across the nation joining the call for peace and solidarity.
Marami po sa ating kababayan ang nakikiisa rin sa paraang nanonood sila sa kanilang telebisyon, sa kanilang computer monitor o cellphone o anumang gadget na gamit nila. Maraming salamat po sa kanilang suporta at maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Hindi lamang mga kaanib sa Iglesia ni Cristo ang nagkakaisang sumama rito. Marami pang ibang grupo, marami pang ibang samahan ng mga kababayan nating Pilipino ang kasama sa mapayapang pagtitipong ito. Kaisa po natin sila na nagsusulong ng pambansang kapayapaan at pagkakaisa.
Firefighters worked urgently to control 2 wildfires in Los Angeles, which had been raging for 6 days, and they took advantage of a brief break in dangerous conditions before high winds were expected to worsen the flames. At least 24 lives have been lost, and California Governor Gavin Newsom warned that this disaster could be one of the most catastrophic in U.S. history, with thousands of homes destroyed and 100,000 people forced to evacuate.
The 6 simultaneous wildfires that have ripped across Los Angeles still threatened communities days later in one of the worst disasters in the city's history. The fierce Santa Ana winds that have fanned the flames will pick up through Wednesday, warned LA County Fire Chief Anthony Marone.
These winds, combined with low relative humidities and low fuel moistures, will keep the fire threat in Los Angeles County very high.
Several people have died in the flames. With many more missing, the death toll is expected to rise. Firefighters over the weekend managed to stem the eastward spread of the Palisades fire, the largest blaze, which had edged toward the Brentwood neighborhood and San Fernando Valley. Wide swaths of the Palisades have been scorched to the ground, with evacuation orders in effect in remaining areas, said LA City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley.
There are still active fires that are burning within the Palisades area, making it extremely, extremely dangerous for the public. There's no power, there's no water, there's broken gas lines, and we have unstable structures.
In Altadena, some progress was made on the Eaton fire, the second largest blaze, though its management is still, quote, a huge Herculean task, according to one local official. The 2 big fires combined have consumed more than 36,000 acres, or 56 square miles, 2.5 times the land area of Manhattan. Officials have declared a public health emergency due to the thick, toxic smoke, with the flames carrying traces of metals, plastics, and other synthetic materials. President Joe Biden declared the fires a major disaster, clearing the way for assistance from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, which said active-duty military personnel would aid firefighting efforts.
Elevated critical fire weather conditions will continue through Wednesday. Please rest assured that your County of Los Angeles Fire Department will be prepared. These winds, combined with low humidities and low fuel moistures, will keep the fire threat in all of Los Angeles County very high. Please rest assured that first thing Thursday, we will start talking about repopulation in evacuation order and warning areas.
Regarding any illegal activity that may be occurring in these areas, don't do it. The fact that anyone takes advantage of anyone who's been victimized already, whether it is burglary, looting, or any other crime, whether it's a scam of some kind that you're conjuring up to make money off of the poor people that have been involved in this. As a matter of fact, I'm set for a press conference tomorrow with Chief Jim McDonald, where we'll be with the district attorney, and we will be with probably the U.S. Attorney. They are very eager to prosecute anybody involved in anyone who thinks they're going to take advantage of the people who have been through this tragedy.
After 4 days of devastating wildfires in Los Angeles County, victims of the Eaton fire in Altadena, California, are coming together to support each other, one person at a time. Let's go to our Net 25 Hollywood correspondent, MJ Racadio, who's right in the heart of it all. MJ.
Hi, I'm Jay Racadio here. Today is the 4th day of the devastating Los Angeles fire. I'm currently here at Altadena, California. And just look at me in the background. It's just devastating. They lost their homes.
We tried to fight the fires right here. We literally stayed until our neighbor's house was engulfed in flames. We left because we realized we couldn't. There was nothing we could do.
Absolutely.
And we're just blessed that our house is still standing.
At first, you don't think it's gonna come down this far. So then you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna grab my sweater and a shirt. I'll come back tomorrow in the morning. We started hearing that it's getting lower and lower and lower, and then that's when we figured out we can't go back in there kind of thing. Like, there's no way of coming back.
So you lost your home?
Yes.
Can you show us? Is it right there or this one?
This one. Everything.
This one.
The whole property.
Look at all the houses there, and you can smell the debris, the rubble. And right now, the National Guard is currently deployed. What's the turnout over here at the Pasadena Convention Center?
Right now, based on where we're located, in relation to all the other locations, we're probably serving roughly around 2,500 to 3,200 meals a day. Chef Jose Andres is the founder of World Central Kitchen. Called us and asked us if we could mobilize as soon as the tragedy and the natural disaster occurred. So we got here literally the next day within 4 hours.
Well, how were you feeling when you were evacuated?
We left before the order. It's a lot easier to leave before orders than when there are orders. I thought, okay, well, we'll just get out of the windstorm and we'll come back tomorrow when it's over. It doesn't feel real, but it is. I've seen it. I've been at my house. There's nothing.
We have some volunteers here helping the Eaton fire victims.
I'm feeling sad about what the loss is, but I'm here with the crew, and we're doing our best to deliver to the communities, in my community especially. So we're delivering wonderful vegan food with the plant-based treaty here, and we're doing what we can.
Definitely trying to get plant-based meals to the community and others so they can, be feeling good and have their food.
We own Veg and Go restaurant. We're here with donating with food and time and however we can. Water, necessities, hygiene products, everything is needed, and a lot of these donation centers don't have the manpower delivery system to bring the needs to the folks that are affected.
I work with Plant-Based Treaty at times, volunteer with them. I'm just really happy to be able to connect with them through all this and be able to make a difference.
We're always out tabling, talking about climate change, but now that we're seeing the effects of it right now is the reason why we came and responded immediately.
I was just here 2 days ago.
Many victims of the Los Angeles fires are now giving back to the community as volunteers.
To know you had something that you grew up in, your house, and then it's gone. So it hasn't really hit me because I've just been going into action to help others, help my family and friends and neighbors and everybody else. So, doing my best.
What's your word out there to all the victims?
Stay strong, be grateful for everything. Homes can be replaced, but your life can't. So do what you can to help others. We will rebuild. We're Pasadena strong, Altadena strong. We're resilient, and just with the communities, do what you can to help others.
We're actually hosting a donation drive tomorrow from 11 to 4 p.m. If anybody wants to come drop off donations, they're more than welcome to do so. We're accepting baby clothes, baby formula, bottles, diapers, wipes, anything that you think somebody that just lost their house might need. We'll be handing it out on Sunday from 11 to 4 p.m. as well. Anybody's welcome to do so. We're going to have Toyota of Downey here. They're going to be here giving food tomorrow as well. And on Sunday, we'll have a lot of other people giving out stuff. So we're all located on Woodbury and Glen Rose, right on the corner. Please spread the word.
That is it for now. I'm MJ Racadio here reporting.
Foreign ministers from South Korea and Japan met in Seoul today to discuss strengthening their relations in the face of increasing security challenges in the region and political tumult in the host nation. Now, it marked the highest-level diplomatic meeting between the countries since South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol's short-lived imposition of martial law last month, a move that has triggered political turmoil in one of Asia's most vibrant democracies. It also came amid heightened concerns about North Korea's missile testing and deepening security pact with Russia and China's increasingly muscular attempts to assert its maritime claims in the South and East China Seas.
この地域を取り巻く安全保障環境というのは、非常に厳しいものになってきているというふうに思います。そういった戦略環境の下で、日韓関係の重要性は変わらないどころか、ますます重要性を増してきているというふうに考えております。
Iwaya is also due to meet acting South Korean President Choi Sang-mok, who's standing in for impeached President Yoon. With the administration of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump set on January 20, none of the original leaders who established the security pact between the countries in 2023, U.S. President Joe Biden, Yoon, and former Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida will remain in power.
私もですね、諸般の事情が許せば、現地時間の1月20日に実施される米国大統領就任式に出席する方向で今調整を行っております。でその際にその日韓米の戦略的連携がこれまでになく重要だということをですね、米国の新政権側にしっかりとですね伝えていきたいというふうに思っております。
Yoon had made it a diplomatic priority to mend ties with Tokyo, often strained by historic issues, and pursue a joint security drive with Washington to tackle North Korea's military threats. In a nod to those efforts to put aside historic issues, Iwaya earlier today visited the Seoul National Cemetery, which honors Korean veterans, including those who died seeking independence from Japanese colonial rule, which ended in 1945. Now, U.S. President Joe Biden held a virtual meeting with Japan's Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru and Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to strengthen cooperation between the three countries. They discussed maritime security, economic ties, and condemned China's dangerous actions in the South China Sea. They also agreed on the importance of maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. This meeting comes just a week before Biden's term ends. Manila confirmed the three nations are committed to deepening their relations amid growing tensions in the South China Sea, a vital trade route worth over $3 trillion annually. Despite China's claims, a 2016 ruling found Beijing's stance has no legal basis. The U.S. has enhanced security ties with the Philippines under Marcos, gaining expanded access to Philippine military bases. The White House didn't comment on discussions about Nippon Steel's acquisition of U.S. Steel, which Biden blocked on national security grounds. Japan's foreign ministry, however, asked Biden to address concerns about the decision affecting business relations. And the news continues here on Net 25. We'll be right back. And today, thousands of Iglesia Ni Cristo members came together for the INC National Rally for Peace. It was an impressive show of unity with people standing strong in support of the church administration. Their message was clear. They want government officials to put the country's well-being first ahead of personal interests. Now, the rally's impact went beyond the Philippines, stirring reactions from across the globe. Take a look.
I think national unity is very important in the Philippines nowadays because kasi yung bansa natin ay nagde-develop tapos kailangan natin ituon ang lahat ng ating atensyon sa progress, ganon. Tapos kung patuloy tayong nagkakagulo around these factions, mas lalo tayong babaon sa kahirapan. I think political tension inside the Philippines and factions in the Philippines will just make a bad impression towards foreign investment and will not lead them to try to invest in the Philippines because they think that the country is in a precarious situation wherein there's no security or certainty.
How important is the national unity at this time? When we are united, then we can surmount any challenges and accomplish any goal. The development of our society and country depends on this spirit. In fact, civilization came into existence because of the unity among people. In order to lead a peaceful and fulfilling life, it is very important for people to stay united.
Totally against what's happening in the Philippines right now because of this always cracking down oppositions, especially in the coming 2025 elections and the 28 elections. So there were a lot of things happening in the government right now which led to political harassment and political unrest that will makes the Philippines the image bad to the internationally. When the population is united, there is stronger collective will to uphold democratic and values of the rule of law. This unity, on the other hand, can lead to a weakened democratic system where different functions undermine each other and erode trust in institutions.
Ka ba sa Pilipinas? Bakit importante sa'yo o yung nangyayari doon kahit nandito ka?
Kasi lahat ng mga pamilya ko karamihan nandun pa sa Pilipinas eh. Kasi syempre, ang kinabukasan din ng mamayang mga Pilipino, pamangkin ko, or either or magiging generation pa ng kamag-anak ko, dapat pipili talaga tayo ng magandang leaders sa bansang Pilipinas.
Para sa akin, napakahalaga yung kaisahan na dapat ay magkaisa kahit saan man tayo, lalo na kahit ako ay nandito ako sa Australia, ay natili pa rin sa akin ang dugong Pilipino. Kumbaga sa ating bayan, sa Pilipinas ay kailangan talaga nating magkaisa, lalo na yung mga namumuno sa ating gobyerno. Kasi kung walang pagkakaisa ay magkawatak-watak ang bansa, ang ekonomiya natin may sisira. Tayo ay nagsisimula na sana na umunlad, pero kung sisirain ang pagkakaisa sa ating bansa, ay masasayang yung mga pinaghirapan natin. Kahit ako ay malayo, nakatingin pa rin ako sa bansang Pilipinas sapagkat maraming mga Pilipino ang naghihirap at kailangang matulungan ng mga namumuno sa atin at mapangunahan yung mga kahirapan. Ang ating ekonomiya ay mapaunlad dapat at kailangang magkaisa ang mga namumuno, lalo na sa ating presidente at ating pangalawang presidente, si BBM at sa BP Sara, ay kailangang magkasundo ngayon sa panahong ito. At ang aking masasabi, tularan natin yung mga taong nakipagkaisa na ang layunin ay kapayapaan, hindi kaguluhan.
Kaya kailangan talaga maayos na to, mabuti na lang gumawa aksyon ng mga Iglesia ni Cristo. Salamat na lang at sana nga maging mapayapa yung nila, pagrarally nila, walang anumang mangyayari, ang lahat ay ayos para sa kapayapaan talaga yung natin, ang layunin natin. Bilang isang Pilipino, kahit paano doon ako lumaki, kailan lang naman ako rito. Siyempre gusto kong bumalik din sa sarili kong bayan.
Bagaman sa kasalukuyan kami ay naninirahan na dito sa ibang bansa, subalit hindi mawawala o hindi maaalis sa aming puso't isipan ang pagiging Pilipino namin. Kaya ako ay kaisa ng ibang mga Pilipino sa ating bansa na magkaroon ng pagkakaisa. Lunasan ang mga suliranin at problema sa bansang Pilipinas. Ang sigalot sa pagitan ng mga politiko ay maayos na para sa lalong ikaayos at ikauunlad ng ating bansa.
Ang impeachment po ay hindi nararapat sa kasalukuyang panahon dahil marami po tayong dapat unahin na makatutulong sa ating bansa at sa ating mga kababayan na naghihikahos. Ang pagkakaisa ng mga nasa gobyerno ay mahalaga para magtulong-tulong sila sa ikabubuti ng ating bansa. Ang pagkakawatak-watak ng mga nasa gobyerno ay walang maidudulot na mabuti yan. lalo na sa mga kababayan natin, kundi puro sigalot lamang. Sa mga karatig bansa na naman na patuloy na sumusubaybay sa Pilipinas, ay talagang hindi ho makatutulong sa kanila yan. Hindi po ikabubuti ng imahe ng ating bansa kung tayo ay hindi nagkakaisa at hindi nagkakasundo-sundo, lalo na po sa gobyerno ng mga nanunungkulan. Paano po tayong makahihikayat ng mga dayuhan na mumumuhunan sa ating bansa?
During this time is very important when all of the countries around the world have wars and chaos in their respective countries, all because there isn't any unity. There isn't any unity among politicians. There isn't unity among citizens. That's why this rally for unity would at least reset us to look forward for a better country to live in. It affects those who are abroad, Filipinos abroad. So what they really want to happen is for them to also be united abroad as Filipinos. It should start at home. It has a greater impact on the lives of ordinary citizens because we look up to them, basically our leaders who lead the countries. Just imagine if you do not have a stable government and all you hear almost every day is politics and chaos, disunity even amongst our leaders. The government should focus more on the conditions, situations that many of our countrymen face every day, challenges.
Para sa akin, napakahalaga ng kapayapaan ng Pilipinas sa ganitong pagkakataon, lalong-lalo na hindi naman lingid sa atin na ang mundo pahirap ng pahirap. Napakaraming nawawalan ng trabaho. Tapos, ang mga Pilipino nag-aaway-aaway pa dahil sa politika, dahil sa kawalan ng suporta ng gobyerno. Siguro, mas mainam na lang na bawat gawin ng Pilipino at ng gobyerno ay magkaisa para sa ikaw-unlad ng bawat isa sa kanila at ng kung ano mong suliranin ang dinadala ng Pilipinas ay matugunan ng gobyerno. Hindi lamang ito na kikita sa Pilipinas lang, kundi sa buong mundo dahil nga sa gawa ng social media, madaling nakakarating sa mga tao na papanood ng buong mundo kung ano nangyayari sa ating bansa. Ay nakikita nila kung gaano ito kagulo. Kung ako ang investor, hindi ako pupunta sa bansa na napakagulo kung saan malulugi lang ang aking negosyo. Investment could lead to jobs sana para sa mga Pilipino.
Tungkulin po ng gobyerno ang higit na pagkakaisa. Alinmang posisyon sa kanilang pagkakahalal, tungkulin po ng gobyerno na pangalagaan ang interes ng bawat isang Pilipino upang sa ganun, ang bawat isang miyembro ng bansang ito ay magkaroon ng iisang damdamin at iisang pagsunod alinman sa mga alituntunin na ipinapatupad ng pamahalaan.
And before we go, I want to leave you with a song that perfectly captures the spirit of today's National Rally for Peace. Here's Dapat Ay Magkaisa, a powerful reminder that unity, not division, brings true strength to a nation. Take a look.
At dapat magkasundo kung payapa ang ating bansa, aasenso nga tayo. Taong bayan ay unahin at dapat magkaisa, itigil ang pag-aaway at ang pagkakagulo. Ang galit ay alisin at dapat magkasundo kung payapa ang ating bansa, aasenso nga tayo. Ang kahirapan sa bansa ay lumulubha pa, kailangang harapin ang marami nating problema. Maraming nagugutom sa Maynila at probinsya at maraming trabahante, di sapat ang kinikita. Pamilyang hindi sa sapat ang pagkain sa mesa. Kapag sila'y nagkasakit, wala rin pampaospital. Kabuhayang hinampas ng matinding kalamidad at tumataas ang antas ng kriminalidad. Hindi mabuting panoorin na puro na lang kampihan, kaliwat ka ng batikos, kabi-kabilang alitan ng dapat asikasuhin at kailangang malunasan ng mga problemang nagpapahirap sa ating bayan. Sa ating ang panahon, pagkakaisa ang solusyon. Magtulungan tayo, ito ang kailangan ngayon. Dapat nagkakaisa para payapa ang bansa. Pagkaksunga tayo, taong bayan ay unahin at dapat magkaisa. Itigil ang pag-aaway at ang pagkakagulo. Ang galit ay alisin at dapat magkasundo kung payapa ang ating bansa. Aasenso nga tayo.
And with that, we end tonight's broadcast. For everyone here on Net 25, I'm Alma Angeles. Thank you for joining us. Good night.